guys, how are you guys today? Well, I've been working on this Panasonic recorder slash DVD slash VCR combo for the past 2 days now. It's about 4 years old, guys. It's May of 2009 on it. But I am a technician, guys. By the way, I am not responsible for you guys taking your own equipment apart and trying to figure out how to fix your own equipment. I'm not responsible for that, guys. I'm only responsible for taking care of my own equipment on how to fix my equipment myself. But, by the way, I've been having some problems with this DVD player. It was very dirty on the inside. I got it all cleaned out. And the next thing I had a problem with, apparently, is the light issue for the tape, VCR tape deck thing. Every time I put the deck in, or the tape in, it just wants to eject it and put it back in. But I figured out the problem. It's nothing wrong with it. Apparently it's just the light. It's affecting the sensor inside of it. I did not know that. Well, let's go ahead and show you guys on what I've been working on. Alright? Now, here is the Panasonic VCR slash DVD player. This is a 4-year-old unit. It still works very good. By the way, if you want to know what the model is DMR EZ48Z. This does have both a VHS and DVD combo recorder on it. And down here, it does have all sorts of like buttons and stuff. It has a reset button. It has a DVN button, or not button, but DVN for many camcorders. Slash SD card reader and USB on it as well. But it does have a power button. It has S video. It has the composite analog cables, reject, open and close for the DVD drive. And here is the remote for it. And I do have a black pin. If I have a problem with it, I just reset it. And here is the manual for it. I'm going to set this off to the side. Don't really need the manual. Set the remote off to the side. I set the pin off to the side. And the tools I have is a big Phillips and a small Phillips and 2 different size flathead screwdrivers. And you can see it's pretty dirty. You can see how dirty that the head was. And yes, I do got a couple clean Q-tips. Do use 70% rubbing alcohol, and be very careful when you are going to be using a aerosol can like this. Be very careful not to damage your player. And yes, the only tool you're going to need is a flashlight to put the gear back into alignment with the gear on the bottom of the main board on this. And to test out this player, you are going to need a DVD. Well, I'm just using the kids' DVD. And to test out the VHS tape, I'm just going to use this regular VHS tape. Anyways, to test it out, let's go on the back of the unit. Here's the AC input. Here's your RF in and your RF out for your coaxial cable. Here's the fan. This is what the culprit was. This made a lot of dust. Here's the HDMI output. Here's a couple analog outputs. Analog in, probably S video out, a analog out, and S video again. And also octal audio for digital audio. And before I open it, I want to show you caution, shock hazard, do not open. And by the way, it is from March of 2009, 4 years old. And here's the specs on the combo unit, Panasonic combo, and there's the model again. One of these supplies 40 watts. By the way, it's made in China. Don't like when it's made stuff in China. And let's go ahead and open the top of all to show you what's going on the inside with a slider off like this. Be very gently with when you slide them. Don't want to damage your components on the inside. This might be a little tricky to get off. This is just the black cover to make it look nice and neat. Let's go and slide this guy off, and we're just going to set this guy off to the side because we're not going to need it right now. But we want to show you what the outside of this player looks like. Here's your VCR recorder. Here's a DVD recorder. And let's go ahead and pan around the whole unit so you guys can see what I've been doing. Here's the main motherboard. It does have a video processing in it, and it takes a while for it to load up. Here is the power supply, by the way. Here's the fan. This fan here is what the culprit was when it was all dusty on the inside. One modification you can probably do is put some type of filter on the outside of your machine, for your machine doesn't look as dusty like this one was. But let's go ahead and now plug in the AC outlet. By the way, I am not responsible for anybody getting hurt, but do this at your own risk, guys. Be very careful when you do anything live with your technology. Definitely like this VCR I'm doing, DVD combo. Let's go ahead and turn it on. By the way, this has live power in it. I don't want to be touching the inside of it too much. Again, I don't want to get electrocuted myself. But I've been doing this for years. I've been taking technology apart, putting technology back together, and fixing it. And it's going to say help or hello on the screen now. And what it's doing, it's going to flash for a couple minutes. And it's going to take a while for the processor inside of this unit to load like it's supposed to. Let's talk about the functions of this player. This player is a very good video slash DVD combo, both in one. See what it's going to do. It's going to turn on, and now it's in VCR mode channel. Let's go and test out the DVD player here. Let's just switch it back to the DVD player mode. But we are going to turn on the TV to show you some of the lovely functions I can finally do with this unit. Now, don't mind the snow on the TV, because that's, again, normal, because I don't have anything hooked up to this VCR combo. What we're going to do is test it with this kids DVD, kids DVD 3.0. First, we need to open the tray. This tray loads up, cleaned out all as well. Put this guy inside. Now it's going to play it. It's going to load everything like it's supposed to. But this has a selector gear on the bottom of this piece. By the way, make sure when you are going to take your stuff apart, make sure you put every single cable back in place. And there's a fan that kicked on, by the way. That's the carpet that made this thing so dusty. But it does work. Everything does play fine. Sound fine. Again, I'm not going to turn the audio on to let you guys look at it. But you can see it's working just fine. You know, it's playing good so far. I mean, I do have sound to it, but don't have any copyright issues there, guys. But it's playing just fine. You know, DVD's playing just fine. Let's see, let's just test it out real quick here for just test it. This is just a test. Oh, pointed at that doing not the TV. You can see we turn up the volume just a tiny bit. Just working just fine. Quickly stop it. That's about it. That's all I can show you on the DVD side, guys. Just quickly a test DVD, kids DVD here. I'm just testing it. And by the way, you are going to be taking off bit screws, you know, to take the cover off. You're going to have 3 silver screws, and you're going to have 2 of these black screws on the table. Let's go ahead and quickly shut the DVD drive. Let's go ahead and switch to VCR. Switch to the on inputs first here. We switch to the VCR settings. Let's go ahead and grab this VCR and just pull it out of the box and put the VCR in the Dewey here. I hope it's going to work. And there she goes. She's now, instead of ejecting the tape like it used to, it's now putting the tape back in. You can see it's working just fine. Now, you see, there's the picture. Got a picture very good. It's a little bit distorted. It's a little bit fuzzy. So typically, that's normal. It's not normal for VCRs to do this. But let's quickly stop this, before we don't have any on problems with YouTube. But it does work. DVD plays fine, works fine. We're going to go ahead and turn off the TV. We're going to go ahead and reject the tape. And what's causing this player to misfunction is, let's go to the light over here. And the reason why it's been misfunctioning right is, it wasn't the selector gear, it's the sensor inside of it. When it's picking up the light, you can see how it spins backwards. Okay, when spinning backwards, what it's going to do is going to reject it, because that's the sensor. Now, if I turn the light down from the from the lamp I'm using over there, and I put this tape back in, look what's going to happen. See? Working just fine. That's because it has a sensor inside. That's why the tape this has to be black inside for the VCR to work properly. And before you mess with anything on the internal side of your machine, note not to mess around too much with the gears on your VCR. I also cleaned the heads. I cleaned this head. I cleaned the spools. Cleaned that head. I also cleaned the eye on this to make it sure it's working properly, working fine. And again, this is now a live circuit. Here is the high side, or the high voltage, and the low voltage is down below. But the other problem also I seen with this player, it has a bit of a dark brown on it. If you guys can I don't know if you guys can see that with this flashlight, but it has a dark color to it. It's not good for that. Let's go ahead and put the VHH tape back in the box. But that's just a quick test to show you on how to clean and how to test your equipment. But remember, I'm not responsible if your equipment breaks. Okay? Be well warned, if you're going to be taking something like this apart, do not have it plugged in the AC outlet, because you will get a good shock. Done that many times too. But okay guys, like I said, I'm not responsible for you guys taking your own equipment apart and having a problem with it not working. But this is working just fine. I'm gonna show you what the components look like. You know, I took this whole thing apart to clean it. I used the aerosol can, rubbing 70% alcohol, Q-tips, flashlight, screwdrivers, and also a good tool, a DVD and a VCR VHH tape to test the device. And like I said, she's working just fine. Well, let's go and pop the DVD drive open. There's DVD drive working just fine. There's the little flat port. And if you are going to be putting your VCR back together, make sure you kind of get that hook to be underneath this flap here for it doesn't jam the tape. You want to make sure it goes in and out like it's supposed to. But be very, very careful on how you fix your equipment. Make sure you have every single ribbon cable plugged into the right spots of the machine. And make sure you have the motor plugged in for your gear to work properly on the VCR side and DVD side. And again, make sure you plug your power in and your ribbon cable in. And also make sure if you have an SSD card like this one does, make sure that ribbon cable is plugged in as well. And stuff like that. And the culprit to make this unit so dusty was the fan. Well, because one thing, because they didn't put no air filters on the outside of the VCR, but be careful. Make sure you clean it good. Don't over clean it. Again, it still has a little bit of dust on the circuit board, you know, stuff, but it's clean. You know, it's clean enough. But you know, spray it off with a good aerosol can. Do not use a wet vac blow to blow the dust off of this, because you don't really need to do that. You can also gently use a air compressor to do that as well. But here's what I mean about the video processing system. This is the HDMI video board. Okay, this is the video board. This video board connects mostly the DVD player and this main board to output HDMI to the TV. I don't know about the analog functions, but the analog functions all work off the VCR side. But the HDMI video board works mostly off the DVD player. By the way, this does have a processor inside. It does have a couple of RAMs of chip inside and an on AMD chip though. Let's talk about the high voltage side. The high voltage side is very dangerous. This whole section is the power section. But remember, this is the power supply. But the problem is, this whole board is actually the power side, because it's separated from this board, but this piece is not separated from the rest of the board. Let's talk about some of the capacitors. Here's a capacitor. Here's a capacitor. I just got zapped though. Oops. Sorry guys. Here's a heatsink. Here's a heatsink. There's a heatsink. Here's your coils. Your 2 amp fuse, 250 volt fuse. By the way, don't stick your finger on the capacitor like I did. I just got a little shock there. That's the power input board for the to power up the unit. Now to show you how this starts up, you can turn it on, turn it off, turn it on, reset it. But it's going to take longer for the video processing to work. And let's go ahead and resettle. Well, we're going to just use a little mini screwdriver. And here's a reset button, right down there. Gonna just boop, reset it. Gonna have to hold it down. And what I'm going to do is going to reset the system. And by resetting the system, don't have to unplug it. This has a built-in reset button. Most machines you have to reset by pulling the plug out. But hold the power plug, or hold the power button, and don't mind those little digits though. Turns on, just turn on. What it's going to do, it's going to go through the process of booting everything up and stuff like that, guys. But be very careful, guys. It's a very, very dangerous equipment to work when it's alive. Make sure you are working with it. Make sure you do unplug it. And if you want to be extra safe, just go ahead and buy a DVD cleaner and a VHH cleaner. That'll work just fine. See, now it's going to boot up, and it's one of the lights is going to turn on. One of the lights, the VCR or DVD, doesn't matter. But see, it lights up, works just fine, guys. Now we pop in the tape again, and let's see if that fan kicks on there. When you put the tape in. When you put the tape in, make sure you put it in straight, not crooked. And watch what it should, these should pop on. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. It's probably a heat sensor's fan. That's typically normal. Let's recheck the tape. It's going to take a minute or two to get the tape to come out of the VCR. But this is just a quick test on how to test it, and there she goes, the fan just kicked on. It is a heat sensing fan, by the way. And by the way, DVD player does do work. Got it all working, you know, kid's little DVD player, DVD standard DVD player. Don't ever push on the drawer drive here, always use the button to close it. So you see it's clicking and it's playing and it's doing what it's supposed to be doing, guys. But you see, not playing. I'll eject the tape or DVD now and close the drawer. But alright guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this little tutorial on how to clean and properly fix your equipment without being dangerous shocked. Like, I got a little shocked there, but be very careful. By the way, I'm sorry guys, I'm not responsible if you take your stuff apart and your machines break. Don't blame me for your machines breaking. Alright guys, I hope you liked this video. Please subscribe and please leave a comment below if you want to know how I did on this auto VCR DVD combo doey thing. Also, you know, drop me a line if you want to know what I ended up doing with it and stuff. Alright guys, peace out. Bye guys. I will see you in the next vlog. Alright, later guys.